There's a good book by Ed Catmull that's named Creativity Inc. In it, he talks about the rise of Pixar and his quest to create the first 3D animated movie. And he stresses an interesting point, which is story over spectacle. And this is relevant to Silent Hill because most people don't understand it. Even though they might love it, they don't understand why. Which is not a bad thing until those people get creative control over the license and run it into the ground. So let's talk Silent Hill. Why it worked and why it broke. The first thing to understand is that Silent Hill is not a conventional horror series, because rather than use the attention cycle to try and spook you, it will use it to make you uneasy for a scare that won't come, playing on your expectations but using the same tropes as the regular horror titles of the time. And it's important to stress that I'm talking about the original games. Silent Hill isn't a horror series in the usual sense, but rather they are a character-driven story which use horror elements to deliver its story. I suppose you call that psychological horror. Silent Hill did not invent its gameplay, but rather it copied it from Resident Evil and took an interesting spin on it. Silent Hill used limited resources to instill an air of uneasiness, of tension and dread, because you as the player know that eventually you are intended to use your resources, so the mechanics of item management has an emotional weight as well. And you can see this motif in all aspects of design, from the fog to the voice acting to the animations to the enemy design. Everything is designed to make you feel out of your element, and yet everything is strangely familiar. The monsters are often designed to invoke taboo imagery such as rape or childbirth or sexual frustration, and that's done to make you feel dirty. But since this is an interactive medium, that feeling is amplified, because you need to interact with what the world commonly said should be left untouched. And that brings up another interesting part of Silent Hill. It makes you want to go on, even if you know it's not a good idea. I talked about this aspect of horror in an earlier video, but the gist of it is this. Good horror can make you want to explore an abandoned insane asylum, or take a stroll through the gardens of madness with only a window between you and the unknowable horrors. And the great horror can make you want to peer in, to see just a little of that which you are forbidden to see. And that's Silent Hill's story in a nutshell. It's intentionally vague in order to make you search for it. I guess if I had to explain Silent Hill in one sentence, it'd be a good story which uses mystery to entice you, and to use mystery it hides much of its story away, forcing you to search for it, and to mechanically incentivize you to search. It also hides the equipment you need in optional areas, so that environmental storytelling can be a byproduct of the gameplay. And since it has enticed you so greatly that you would continue no matter what, it throws you into a twisted version of reality which forces you to consider sex when you look at grotesque monsters, designed to invoke taboo imagery to really give you a shake. And that's the point of psychological horror, to shake humans' hearts. Now, I could go into jump scares or lack thereof, or talk about the psychology of the animations, but you get the idea. Everything in the old Silent Hill games is balanced and designed to make you feel frightened, yet enticed. And while those feelings play at the forefront, there's another game being played out of sight, hidden where only your subconscious might pick up on it. The game of psychological horror. Thanks for watching. This video was a joy to make, and if you have any ideas for later videos, please leave them in the comments. I'll be sure to check them out. Until next time.